So now that we're recording, I have to say I'm not allowed to talk about Shakira this week.
No.
I can't talk about any MILF badonkadonks either.
No, I got a lot of messages about it. A lot. Like too many.
Turned a lot of people on. I saw we got a lot of new followers.
We did get a lot of new followers. People are like, he's right.
About the lyric, yeah.
Yeah. Of course. But also your cheat code for Pornhub also helped everybody out. Like if you put MILF and big butt, you get a whole new lane.
You cut that part out.
Mm-hmm. Put it back on though.
I don't even remember saying that.
Welcome back to the Jojatorium. Well, I think, remember too, whenever we found the German Shizer porn. Let's not lie to each other. You're in twerk classes over there. That's
yeah. That's all it is.
The fitness class.
Working on them TikTok videos you like so much.
Dead face. Got right in front of you. Welcome back to the Jojatorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. We're decaying with the boys. And just so you know, we are wrestling Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. And I'm pointing real hard at the camera. I'm going to make it catch on fire. So if you guys haven't noticed where we are right now, we are on site at Yellow Bridge with the wonderful guest we're going to have here, Justin Goodfellow, who is the head brewer here at Yellow Bridge. I'm really happy that you're here, Justin.
Oh, I'm happy that you're here, man.
Are you? You guys are really happy?
I'm super happy that he's here.
I can't wait for a fight to break out.
Well, listen, I know, like Hop Nation, I said some shit, and then Hot Sauce came involved in our podcast, and I said some shit. Just know that I meant every single word of it. And
it's okay. It's all right.
So for listeners new to the podcast, what came up in both of those situations was Matt's least favorite brewery. Mm-hmm. And both times he said Yellow Bridge.
Yeah. Ooh. And then there was off-mic stuff that I said that was really hurtful. And then things I said in my personal life. And then things I said to like my coworkers that you don't even know. And then other brewers.
Nice.
And then at homebrew competitions and to my wife.
Nice.
So I'm really happy that you're here. So thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Remember when we went to like the Pittsburgh Brewers Guild meeting and you weren't even invited, but you just came in to talk shit?
Yeah. I walked in and I was like, hey, do you guys know that Yellow Bridge got a new dipshit to brew beer over there? And they were like, Justin Goodfellow. I'm like, that's him. Everyone knows you.
And then you were like specifically like, it used to be good. Which
Which is weird because he hated it, right?
I don't share any of these opinions, by the way. I think you're great. One of my top breweries.
And of course, I'm joking. I love you, Justin. Thank you for allowing us to come on site. We do appreciate it. And we're very happy that you have the head brewer position over here. And they're all jokes.
No, I know. Thank you.
I do like you a lot.
I know.
Man.
I love ribbing you. It's fun, but right now it's like, you know, I go ahead and keep piling on them. I like it. So, you know,
as we progress, we'll work on this.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Oh, so I'm just the counselor.
Yeah.
I'm the therapist.
Yes.
I don't want you two to get divorced.
I don't want to get divorced either. I don't think we're married yet, but
kids
we will be.
The kids will resent you for it.
So, just to remind you, Justin, and remind all the listeners and the watchers on YouTube here, we are going to have awards at the end of the year for our top-rated guests. So, right now, you're up against Taylor from Abjuration is our first and only guest so far in 2022, and we do have some other great guests that are coming on. But before we get into all of that, we are here at Yellow Bridge, and you continue to make some of the best beers in the burg. So, it's round one. You brew up some beers. Put them together. Call round one beers. Justin, what are we drinking here?
We are drinking Higher Learning. So this is a cream ale that my boss, whenever he started this place up, it was like one of the, the beers that he was really proud of whenever they started learning water chemistry. And I think this batch especially, it just came out absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you can tell. Crystal clear, like Indiana Jones and, the crystal skull type clear, you know what I mean? So it's wonderful, right?
Super clear.
Yes.
Super clear. Wonderful. It's a perfect example of a cream ale in my book.
Yeah.
You get that little bit of sweetness from the corn that you expect, but finishes crisp.
Really
clean.
Crisp.
And that's why I like
Wisp.
Yeah, the sweetness really lingers too, which is great. It makes you want to come back for more, which is something I look for in beers that I call the Lay's potato chip effect. I want to have more than one sip, and that's exactly what this achieves here. And this, of course, is a great example of what you bring to the table to Yellow Bridge, and I'm glad to see it.
What ABV is this coming?
Oh yeah,
I know we're under 5, right? We're in the 4s,
like 5.
Okay.
I think it might actually just be 5%, something to that effect. So I mean,
wonderful.
Yeah, and it's nice too because it's right now low key. It's like half the staff's favorite beer, and then I'm floating around here all the time, especially on like a Thursday or Friday. I'm just the tap room opens up and somebody comes in that I might see or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm talking to whoever. And I just had it like a week or two ago where people came in and they're like, oh, you're the brewer. And I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. And they're like, what are you drinking? And I was like, honestly, what I'm feeling right now is that. And they're like, oh. Like they were kind of like caught off guard. It's it's beer-flavored beer. It's delicious. So.
Oh, everybody wants to hear like, oh, I have this triple imperial marshmallow peanut butter something or other.
Sour stout.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, try it out. You need a spoon.
So hope you don't need your taste buds the rest of the weekend.
Blow them out. But, these, cream ales and traditional style beers are on a comeback. And if more can come out like this, then I'm going to love the resurgence. So great job on this, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So it definitely is one that I'm very proud of. So very proud of.
Wonderful. So we've already mentioned that you're the head brewer here. So just some backstory on this, because this isn't your first pro brewing gig. So how did you get involved with Yellow Bridge?
So I met Ian. Ian's the owner of Yellow Bridge. He, him and his brother had started this up, and I met him a few years ago at Homebrew and Chill, I believe it was. I think you know something about that, right, Bash? You
know a little bit about.
You go to that. You go to that,
my beers get judged very poorly there every year. Yeah.
But I that year I had 2 beers that one of them won one of the judges' votes, and the other one was honestly like it could have taken another spot basically. And I met him. He was talking, and he loved my stuff. And then a couple months later, he messaged me, and I came out, and he was saying he was looking for like an assistant brewer or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And at like a month later, I got a message from another brewery that is no more, and Fury Brewing, and I ended up going there just because it was closer to home, and I my own backyard. I loved their beers there. I loved what they had been doing. Ryan, who was previously there, he did some good stuff, and it was like, oh, I want to get into brewing. So I did that for a year and a few months, and things were getting a little rough at the end, and it was like, Ian was going through some stuff, and he needed a brewer, and I needed, there were certain things I needed, and we talked it over, and it just fit. So, yeah. Wonderful,
man. And so you're talking about going from Fury to Yellow Bridge. Was there a difference in like the scale of production that you can get from Yellow Bridge in comparison to Fury? So what's the output look like here?
Well, this is double the size. So this is 7-barrel system. We can only brew right now currently Mondays and Tuesdays. So it's like, the amount of days I can brew is lowered, but the volume is higher. It's a lot more work. I mean, just, in general, it's more grain, it's, all that kind of stuff. And then with Yellow Bridge, there is a little bit, it's a bigger distribution than what Fury had. So I can, it's kind of cool that, I can go into like Giant Eagle, like Irwin or whatever, and you're like, oh, there's our beer, and, and it's like, it's just it's pretty rad. So
and I was going to ask you too. So I know, and Adam and I were big fans of Fury, and we were really big fans of Fury when you were there. You put out some really great beers there. Yeah. But one thing we noticed, of course, in comparison from Fury to here, is that we can find your cans and also on tap all over the place. So. So what do the sales look like outside the brewery? Like, how far is your reach right now in terms of distribution?
Well, right now, I mean, we do distribute to both Westmoreland and Allegheny County. I don't know that we go anything further than that, and I don't know if we're going to in the future. But you can definitely, if you're going down to like Mike's Beer Bar, you can catch some of our stuff there. If you're going to anywhere from Marino's or Tapped or Oliver's Poorhouse in Greensburg, it's like you can catch our stuff there. I know that we have some stuff that I think makes its way out towards South Hills, but I'm not entirely sure of how far. So there's just you got to keep your eyes open for this stuff. But I'm sure that a lot of craft beer drinkers and fans are, always on the hunt for something that they're not used to seeing. So
absolutely, yeah.
So if you're only brewing Monday and Tuesdays the rest of the week, canning and getting the beer out there, basically
canning, kegging, cleaning, a lot of cleaning.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
That you guys before you guys came in, it was like we had just got done kegging and canning, and I was cleaning fermenters, and just tomorrow it's like cleaning kegs, cleaning other things. It's just constant cleaning almost. So
that's why you need one of me. That's all I do.
He's the cleaner for Bash Brew.
That's all I do. I don't.
That's all I
Wait, Adam doesn't clean?
No, he doesn't have to.
Why?
Tomorrow I do. He's not going to be
I won't be there
If
tomorrow.
he's there, I don't have to.
My job is to clean and then also catch things as he throws them violently. That's my other job.
Only happened once, and you didn't catch it.
I didn't. I was scared.
And I threw it right at your head.
That's why I didn't catch it, dude.
It was a glove. It wasn't.
It wasn't like you threw hops at him or something like that.
No.
What about a brick of yeast?
I don't even think I could throw like hot pellets at him. I'd like.
Yeah,
I'd like fairy blast him.
Shower me with them like Salt Bay. Yeah. No,
try that next time.
So you're talking about people seeing things that they haven't seen before in terms of beer. So we have seen you at beer festivals, and you do participate pretty heavily as a judge. So does that, like, how did you get started in judging, and how does that influence what you do here?
Well, it's very difficult. I don't know why everybody does what they do, but I mean, for me, I started home brewing out of a love. I love craft beer, and it was like, well, I'd been listening to podcasts, and I kept like talking to my wife. I was like, man, I think I want to try this. I want to try this, all that kind of stuff, and so she broke down and got me a beer kit, like a starter kit for Father's Day in 2013, and it just like opened up this like giant door. And we'll fast forward to 2 years later, and one way to become a better brewer is just through experience and study, and the more you can learn, the hopefully better product you can put out. So I was like, what? I want to become a judge because I want to learn more, but be able to diagnose certain things if there's off flavors, if if I'm doing a certain style, like what perhaps might I use for that style? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, that really it was just a nice, handy thing to make me a better brewer. So
that's awesome, man, and especially from the homebrew scene. I think that pro brewers that start off home brewing and really get experimental can learn a bunch of things they can bring over with them. So when you were home brewing, you started in 2013, so we're in 2022, so that's a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
What were some of the bigger lessons that you learned when you were home brewing, and did any of that translate over to Yellow Bridge? Or into Fury, or to wherever your first step was?
Yeah, I learned to get comfortable with dumping beer.
That's got to be tough, man.
Well, I mean, so I listened to the abjuration episode.
Yes.
And it was a good episode. There was like, there was stuff that he was hitting on that I'm like, yeah, and then there was other stuff where I'm like, no way, dude. And I don't know. I got to this point where, if a beer isn't, the best quality, why put it out? Why even try forcing to drink it? So as a home brewer, I would do stuff, and if it didn't work, it was just like, I know this cost me whatever, but it's like it's worth going down the drain instead of
like
forcing it down.
Or something.
Yeah, it's like like the dad catching his kid smoking, and it's like, you're gonna smoke the whole pack. It's like, that's not the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that that's the right thing to do. So
I mean, I know some of ours have been off, and me and Matt just drink it, but it's not like off to the point where it would make anybody sick. It's just like,
but I mean, that's something that you learn too as you go. You know what I mean? So Yeah, I don't know. I got very comfortable with it because when it comes to scaling up, you know, I mean, I think we've all been to breweries in the past. It doesn't happen as much now, but we've been to breweries in the past where you go and like the first six months, maybe a year, it's not good, and you're like, oh, dude, this is rough, you know.
Yeah.
And I know that it costs those breweries a lot to make, but at the same time, it's like to try to help your establishment, you know what I mean? You need to learn when to cut that cord.
Yeah.
I mean, things happen, you know.
Know when to fold them.
Yep.
So I can only tell you, so in the only time I can ever like really relate to that in terms of like podcasting versus beer making is there have been times we've made episodes and I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can put that up. So if you go back to listen to episode 2 or 3,
2 was really bad.
something happened where like we had a third mic and the mic just wouldn't work.
Okay.
So it would be me talking and then the third guy was talking and then Adam would try to talk and his mic just cut out.
Yeah.
So we're talking to a ghost basically, and no one can hear what he's saying, but I still put it out, and the hatred.
Yeah, because then you're gonna get like that, and you knew it. You knew that people were gonna be like, "Oh man, like you know, I can't hear," and it's like, "Yeah, we couldn't either." You know what I mean?
And
like
that was the thing too. Like people would message me and they'd be like, "Why did you even do this?" And it was like, "Because I felt like I had to give you something, and I didn't." Yeah. So
it's understandable. I mean, it's, you know, from all those fronts, but that's just, it's something that, I don't know. I'm very grateful for it because, like, when I learned how to make sours, the first 2 or 3 batches down the drain. Like I remember the first time, like I took off that airlock, and you know, I went to rack it, and that's also how I learned butyric acid, because I was like, oh no, oh no, you know what I mean? Like this isn't right. This smells like vomit, and I'm gonna, you know, yeah. So. That was one of those instances where it was like, yeah, I'd feel better just dumping this and not potentially hurting anybody. You know what I mean? So
we look at
tastes the same going in and coming out.
So we look at
that's a chunky sour, right?
That's a smoochie, isn't what they call that? So when we look at home brewing versus professional brewing, can you remember the first successful beer you've had in both? Like your first successful home brew, you were like, I nailed this, and then the first time professional.
I absolutely remember it.
Okay.
For home brewing, at least.
Yes.
So I suck at the beginning. I mean, anybody that's, you know, anybody that starts off right out the gate like doing okay, like that's a giant leap. It really is.
You just sucked at the beginning.
Oh, dude, it was so.
I'm just kidding.
No,
Justin actually is one of an elite group
Absolutely.
of beer judges that can actually brew.
Yes.
Brew their face off too.
Yes.
Like he's just as good as a judge as he is at brewing.
The first like 5 batches I ever did, right? It just awful, just so bad, right? And that was one of those times too that I was like, I'm going to drink it because I did it, you know, it was me.
Yep.
And then I learned quickly to just ditch that philosophy, and it was like, nope, you know. But so the very first beer that did anything good for me was, and I was going to quit, but I had this IPA, and it was like a kit IPA, but I wanted to alter it because it's like, well, it's a kit. I want it to be my own, you know. And so I think I did something to the effect of like Dogfish is dry hopping every few minutes, right?
Yeah.
I did that for this beer, and it turned out fine, right? But then I go to bottle it because I wasn't kegging, and I'm like, well, I gotta make up my bottling, you know, I gotta make up my priming sugar, and I go, and the kits used to give you like a ridiculous amount of sugar. They didn't give you what you would need for the beer, which to me doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They would give you like, you know, if you needed 4 ounces of sugar, they gave you like 8. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just going to do this. And then I realized it afterwards, and I'm like, oh no. And at the time, the only sort of brewer that I knew was Jeff Bloom for Bloom Brew. So he's down in West Newton. And I messaged him, and I'm like, dude, I just did this IPA, and it's not like I overcarbonated. I know I did. I'm like, I told him how much priming sugar, all this stuff, and he's like, okay, well, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna like leave it out, and every day just like open up a bottle, right? Like just enough that you can tell if it's starting. And he's like, the moment you hear that, you're gonna go ahead and take all of that and stick it in the fridge.
Yeah.
So I did that. and it sat in my fridge for like a month, and that made my wife so happy, so incredibly happy.
That's what wives like when you take up all.
Just to take up all of that. Oh yeah, man, you know. So and then I take it to a competition down in Connellsville, Tangled Up in Brew, and at the time they had just like their judges, but these judges loved it. Like they actually were like, this is the best beer here, and so I think I won like $100, a gift card for like a homebrew club or homebrew supply store, all that kind of stuff. And I remember like afterwards, like we left and we went to Denny's because I was a little bit lit and I was hungry. It's like we went to Denny's and I'm like, I can brew anything. You know what I mean? It was like you're sitting there and you're like, dude, let's just do it. You know what I mean? Like, let's brew, like, whatever, right? Throw it at me now. Now, all of a sudden, it went from the needle is stuck on E to, oh, the tank's full. Let's go. You know what I mean? And
so you like got the fever.
Oh yeah. And that kept me in it, man, because I was really looking at like I'm just gonna give this up because I suck. You know.
I mean, you can speak to this too at a homebrew competition, like. There's no higher high than winning. It doesn't even matter what you won.
Dude, yeah, man.
It's just like winning, even getting like third place. Like just having your name said is
the
top beer out of like
and that's I don't think
30 to 60 beers.
That's crazy. Something that a lot of people don't realize. Placing is very difficult.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays too, with things getting tougher and everything. Like, I mean, it's difficult. But for pro, I think the first time I realized that I was doing something right was Puffed. Honestly, because Puffed was a couple months in to my brewing at Fury, and it was just like a month after the lockdown started, and so I've got this. I had this idea. I was like, the previous brewer Ryan did this, Oreo stout, and I'm like, I have an idea for doing a peanut butter milk stout, and I mean, we sold through 5 barrels in like 2 hours.
Yeah,
it was insane. Like, I mean, now granted, it was all to go, it was all packaged and all that kind of stuff. But still, I mean, it was awesome
to do that during COVID, like you were saying. That's incredible.
Yeah,
and I had Puffed myself too, and it was
rad. It was so good.
I got some.
Yeah. So if we look forward to the year 2022, how, since you're here now and you're definitely bringing your influence to what happens here, do you have any goals for yourself or for the brewery that you really want to establish or achieve in this year or set up for next year?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, my definitely. I think every person that does anything, especially brewing, though, you should have goals, right? So for me personally, I'm trying to, obviously help grow this business. I love Yellow Bridge and I want to see it grow more. I have goals of making like the sours that are starting to come out, stuff that they weren't doing here before. I have goals of making really clean, lagers and stuff like that. We kind of want to start getting our name out there for things like that. And then I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I know that future goals are, starting up a barrel program. That was something that I learned at Fury that I enjoyed. And it was like, oh, dude, I want to do this. And I saw the reaction and it was like, yeah, let's, so eventually I'd love to get a barrel program going here. But that might not be 2022. Okay. So, but that's at least for this year, it's that. And, I think also the hazy stuff. Like we're known for doing a lot of hazies, and I want to get our hazies to another level where we can all look at each other and go, "Oh my goodness, yes!" We're like, this is, it's just up there with some of the other best ones you can have in the area. So, you know what I mean?
Wonderful.
So, how about Yellow Bridge as a whole for 2022? Is there any expansion plans or anything you can talk about at this time, or is that all being kept?
There's
secret for now.
Or maybe there's all I'm saying is pay attention come May, June timeframe. Okay. There may be a big, thing happening. So
it sounds like we're coming back in May and June or something.
I'm going to put it on my Google Calendar.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in there real quick. We might have to come back through and have another interview real quick. Yeah. So we hear your name a ton in the craft beer scene, and it's no mystery, man. Like you're a very positive influence in Pittsburgh craft beer, and we can all agree here for a second, craft beer in Pittsburgh kind of got a little toxic. things were going a little weird.
In some circles, yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing that stayed steady was Justin Goodfellow.
Is a good fellow.
Good, yeah.
Oh,
great,
look at that.
great.
Listen back to the Bobby Nacho.
Oh yeah,
interview we did.
Yeah, full on spooky season with full pint, and you can just hearing from Mr. Nacho how wonderful you are, and then my experiences with you, and the experiences I've seen you have with Adam, and the influence you have on other brewers. What inspires you to be that point of positivity in craft beer? Because any craft beer brewer can just say, "I'm in it for me. I'm going to just be reclusive," but you're not. You're out there. So what drives you for that?
I think that it's a combination of things. I think that to influence other, especially home brewers, to influence them to just keep at it. I know that feeling of either why am I doing this, or, why do it when they can do it? I know that feeling, and it's, it's just another hurdle to overcome. And I think everybody that has a love for this, that if they really can wait it out, they can do a good job. And for the pro side of it, though, I mean, there are places that I think every single brewery in the area, every single one of them, I think that they all have at least one good beer. And I think too many times we hear, that sucked. That sucked. Or you go on Untapped and you see those monstrosity of reviews by people that think they know everything because, hey, I drank a lot. And it's like, well, okay, all right. That kind of stuff can bring people down. Yeah. I look for, in every brewery, I look for something positive that they're doing, and I make sure that if I'm talking to the brewer, that they know it. Like I poured at the Helltown Hibernation on Saturday, and I was next to, Trace and Devout, and so Devout's pretty close to here, but Trace is in Bloomfield, right?
Yeah.
And I told the guy, I was like, man, that Taps and Tiles hazy IPA was fantastic, and I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, I can still remember it was delicious, you know what I mean? And that was being honest, you know what I mean? And it was just, it was, I think, one of their brewers in training plus like the marketing guy, and nicest people. And the dude was actually wearing like a Deftones shirt. So I was like, I'm like standing there and I'm like, wait a minute, what's that shirt? Like, that's Deftones. And I went over and I was like, hey man, I like your shirt. You know what I mean? I'm a big Deftones fan. And, but like Devout, they might not be doing every single thing, 100%. But there's probably one beer or more that they're just knocking out of the park that I think that people could possibly lose, the forest for the trees. Like it's like you're missing these good qualities, you know what I mean? So, not everything's going to always be perfect. Not everything's going to line up, but so.
Well, that's good then. I'm glad that you can kind of see it that way.
And I think, not to put words in his mouth, it's just his passion for craft beer doesn't stop at him. It's like he wants everybody to get into it. He wants everybody to love it as much as possible. In full disclosure, I showed up a half an hour early to get here and pick his brain a little bit about some yeast treatment. So, and he was more than happy to talk to me about it. He's just one of the people I go to, if I need help or I'm stuck on something or I'm between doing this A or B, Justin can talk me through the benefits and the pros and cons of A and B. And
it's the same thing though with the reverse. If I have issues or if I have questions, I would want there to be somebody that I could go to, that I could reach out to and be like, hey man, like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Like, what do I do? And I don't know. I mean, it's very much a do unto others type thing. You know what I mean? And it's like that's what I try to do.
There's a lot of good people for it in Pittsburgh craft beer. But for sure. Justin's one of the best. So.
And I can say as a guy who I'm not a brewer, I help brew.
You clean.
I
let you clean.
I clean.
Matt, get your face away from there. You're going to ruin it.
Yes. Don't breathe in that. But I can say there was a moment whenever I was at Greensburg, at that whole shebang over there.
Homebrew and chill.
Yeah, and you were talking to somebody else, and you stopped talking to them only to talk to me. And you were in the middle of explaining something very intricate about brewing, and you turned to me and you're like, what are you drinking, fuckface?
Yeah.
And it was just like, you met me at my level. Like, I'm drinking a beer. You asked me what it was. I started talking about it, and you went from being funny to being like, oh, yeah, it has this and this and this, and you'll taste this and you'll taste that. So it was, as a guy, I consider myself more of a layman when it comes to craft beer. I like what I like when it tastes good. Yeah. And then you took the moment to explain to me why I think it tastes good.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and, you know, that's like a fun thing, too. You ever want to see me in scramble mode? Have me in a room with a bunch of brewers that I know.
Yeah.
It's or not even just brewers, like just fans or whatever it is, like friends, you know, family. I'm everywhere. I'm like, oh crap, like I need to talk to, you know, and it's just like meeting people with their,
it's like pinball.
like you said, like their level or whatever. I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but like I'm not like, you know, above, but it's like, yeah, it's like that, like, oh dude, like there's whatever, you know, and like, you know, I'll remember the last time that I talked to them, we talked about whatever, and I'll go over and like, hey man, you know, what's up? And, you know.
It's being able to relate to
everybody. I mean,
around beer, whether they're a brewer, a fan, a drinker.
Stuff.
Even just a first time, I'm sure even a first time craft beer drinker, you'd love to talk them through it, you know?
Yep.
It's just you being able to identify who that person is and how to connect with them.
So, speaking of connecting with people, this is your opportunity to fantasy book yourself for any beer fest in the world. You get to brew something here that you're confident in, and you can take it to any beer fest in the world. Where are you going, and what are you brewing?
I don't know. I mean, I guess. Automatically, I guess it would have to be GABF, right? So Great American Beer Festival. For me, that's just like the one that's like, I don't know what I would do there because I would probably just die. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like you know, I don't know. But I don't know what I would bring. I would want to bring something like this, something nice and crispy and easy to drink. But then there's that other part of me. It's like, well, how do you stand out? And it's like, I don't know. And maybe the point isn't just to stand out. So I think I would try to bring like lagers or something like that, you know, to that. And at least if, you know,
you wouldn't do that.
No. I'm fantasy booking him in my head.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I'm sending you to Germany for the Oktoberfest, and you're taking a hazy IPA and just ruining everything.
Marzen.
Could you? Oh man, that'd be great.
Sprechen hazy and just start handing it out like fuck your beer.
Just by the liter.
I don't know how to say it in German, but they would just like smell it and be like, "This beer is sick," and dump it out.
So you just want to book Justin to pissing people off.
Do you think that enough people there would be like, why are you giving me this yeast starter?
Right.
Yeah. What are you doing? Exactly. Like, no, I want the stuff that was on top of this. Why are you giving me this?
I don't want the slurry.
Yeah.
Like even 12-year-old kids over in Germany know how to brew beer.
So like you know what I mean?
Like, what is this?
Well, you use your hands? It's like it's like for babies, you know? Like.
So, Justin, you do listen to us, so you do know we are a combat sports wrestling-focused podcast, and we wouldn't let you get away with not answering some wrestling questions.
Yep.
So there's a lightning round before we go into a break. So we're going to fire it off here, and the first thing that comes to your brain, that's your answer, okay?
Yeah. We know when you're not brewing, you're pinning shoulders to mats and stealing kisses from all the rats, so you're going to have to answer some questions.
So how it's going to go is Adam's going to go first, I'm going to go second, and we're going to just kind of do that back and forth until we run out of questions and you run out of brain cells, okay?
Okay.
Adam.
I already forgot who you said was going first, and it's me. Who is your favorite wrestler of 2021? And if you haven't been watching currently, you can go all time.
I'm glad you said favorite, okay, because I have not been, but okay, this is just a personal thing, whatever. Duo drop?
Oh, Dewdrop.
Dewdrop, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I have reasons.
Shakira type reasons?
You
can't say Shakira.
No, all he did was reference. He didn't say the bad things. He just
do it anymore.
But that's a PG way of saying
Colombian singer type?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
But that's just, you know.
I already stalled our lightning round.
Your favorite finisher of all time?
Oh, Sting, Scorpion.
Scorpion Death Drop.
Yeah, dude.
Nice. Okay.
Most hated wrestler of 2021.
Since I don't watch, I'm just going to guess Brock Lesnar because every time I see anything on Facebook or whatever, it's like this dude with like a knife tattoo, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know.
So, do you have a favorite match of all time?
Yeah, Royal Rumble, 98. The one, it was that whole thing. Actually, I could watch the thing from start to finish. It was so fun. That was like my heyday of watching stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, that was good, man.
Glad you said that because it plays into the next question. What was your favorite wrestler of the Attitude Era? And that could be WWF at the time, WCW, or ECW.
Yeah.
They were all real big.
I know. This is tough, too. I mean, at the time, I was a huge Stone Cold fan. Yeah. Like, huge Stone Cold. Like, just ridiculous, you know. But now that I'm older, HBK.
Yeah.
HBK, man.
Just to let you know real quick, for me, it was Rob Van Dam. I loved Rob Van Dam.
When he would, and then the crowd would, it was so rad. Yeah, it was so good.
And then last but not least, here in Lightning Round, if you could have beers with one wrestler, dead or alive, who would it be?
That's tough. I guess I'm going to go at least Stone Cold. I know he drinks.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
a good one.
So, you know.
Solid choice.
What were you hoping for?
I would want somebody else to say Andre the Giant because that's what I said.
Yeah, what? So he can carry you or something, right?
Yeah, no, I wanted him to drink me to death and then carry me to heaven.
He was like, "This is where you go."
Like on his piggyback, like a child.
Goodness.
It'll happen.
So, like I said, we are going to move into a break. So, we do have some ads from another one of our friends over at a podcast called Super Familiar with the Wilsons. This husband and wife duo kick up the nostalgia of hanging out at your buddy's house with their cool parents. Josh and Amanda have a weekly podcast that features incredible interviews, silly games, and great conversation. So, go ahead and check them out. Search them out on all social media at Super Familiar with the Wilsons, but just make sure you tell them the boys sent you. Also, don't forget, we are sponsored by Lucky 13s and Anchor FM. And right now, if you actually get the beginner tattoo kit from Lucky 13s, if you type in promo code FREESHIRT, you get a free shirt up to $35 in value with your order. And if you use our promo code MATA193529, you get an additional 25% off your entire order. So check them out. Because when you support our sponsors, you support us, and when you support us, brings pretty cool stuff like talking to Justin Goodfellow from Yellow Bridge. So we'll see you on the other side.
The Super Familiar with the Wilsons podcast. You know that family whose house you hung out in when you were a kid? The house was a little loud and chaotic, but always fun, and sometimes felt more home than home. Well, that's us.
We're the Wilsons, and we welcome you into our podcast with silly chat, ridiculous games, and interviews with interesting people.
Like a spin doctor. The Super Familiar with the Wilsons podcast.
Welcome home.
Nice ink, Adam.
Yeah, I got your name on my ass.
I was talking about your forearm, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been taking care of it.
Yeah, it looks great, man. What are you using?
I'm using Lucky 13's Tattoo Cleanser and Healing Ointment. This ointment is incredibly fresh and invigorating. It effectively removes all surface oils and dirt while not dehydrating your new tattoo.
Dude, I actually got some of Lucky 13's Tattoo Balm. It's all natural, not oily, and applies easily. The balm improved my color and definition, and the vibrance on this ink makes it look like it's brand new.
Oh yeah, man. I found their products after taking their online quiz, and it pointed me in the right direction.
Hey, guess what? And right now, if you use our promo code MATA193529, you can save 25% on your entire order from their site.
From the first line of your tattoo to the first year of your tattoo and beyond, Lucky 13 has you covered to keep that ink looking fresh.
Welcome back. Hopefully you heard something that you like. And again, when you support our sponsors, you support us. And when you support us, it brings pretty cool stuff like talking to Justin Goodfellow from Yellow Bridge. And do not forget about getting familiar with the Wilsons. So, we had a little bit of a therapy session during the break, which was good. So, just real quick, I want to say one nice thing about you, and you say something nice about me. And then...
I'm glad I don't have to do this.
Yeah. No, I want to... Hear me out. It's an I statement. I like the way Justin doesn't try hard to be a good brewer.
Oh, this is tough. I'm turning over a new leaf, though, right? So,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I statements. Make the I... Yeah.
I like that you have a great voice for radio and a better face for radio as well.
Very nice.
I think you both got each other there.
I think we're
I'm so glad I don't have to say anything nice.
Even ground, right?
Pretty good.
Feeling
yeah,
good?
Pretty good.
love it, man. Like,
Yeah.
we're friends now.
Absolutely.
Everything I said prior to this is gone.
As your therapist, I think this is helping.
This is healthy?
Yep.
This is healthy?
It's definitely a healthy relationship.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Yeah. Passive aggression is better than resentment.
Yeah.
We're making steps.
Well, one thing I learned about in school is passive aggression is better than physical aggression.
One usually leads to the other, though.
That's on your textbook. So anyway, we're in round 2, and Justin, you brought us another delicious beer. So it is round 2. You brought more beers, put them together. What are we drinking?
So this is the beer that's coming out this weekend. This is Room for Dessert. This is a collaboration that we did with Merinos. So anybody that had any of the Fury Merinos collaborations in the past, this is kind of a stepping stone to that. So this is a cheesecake sour. Raspberry, cream cheese, milk powder, all that kind of stuff. Cinnamon. I'm trying to think of what else might have been in it, but
Is there any vanilla in it, or is that the cream cheese I'm tasting?
I think that might have been the cream cheese. Yeah, I don't.
Nice.
No,
really
we
good,
did not
man.
use vanilla in this one. Yeah,
Yeah.
But it 6%. So it's a little bit higher for a sour, I guess. I don't know. But it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
I'm really liking it. It is really sweet, as you would want it to be. Clearly, when you look at the color of it, you know you're in for something.
Yeah, I mean, and very opaque.
That's a judge's word right there.
Yes,
Opaque. Yeah.
Does not skimp on the raspberry.
No.
The raspberry is really nice, and the sour meets it right where the tartness of a raspberry usually is.
Mm-hmm.
It
But
just accentuates. It doesn't
But
overpower.
you get like in the aroma too. You get that. Oh man, you get that cream
I
cheese.
get cream cheese and raspberry.
It's
Yeah.
freaking. It's wonderful. So, but yeah, that's actually going to be dropping on Saturday. So you guys have kind of.
Well, it'll be the day before you're hearing this, because this
Yeah.
goes live. This will drop on Sunday.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, then.
So come pick it up at Yellow
It's
Bridge.
current. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah.
Come out and get it, man.
Yeah, you guys didn't get like any.
We
kinda
didn't get
like-
a scoop. We didn't get any scoops.
No.
No. We're doing this live right now on Sunday.
No. This. Well, in full disclosure, this is Saturday morning. I just had my coffee.
It's so cool that we can do this with time. I love it.
Yes. It's like, it's
Just bend it. You know what I mean? And
very
just, you know.
Mandalorian-esque.
Yeah.
Just bend time.
Oh my goodness! Did you see the figure skating last night, Friday night, right before? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
cool.
dude. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't get that medal. That sucks.
Yeah. The country that I root for didn't win.
I had too much to drink last night, which was Friday night.
See, that's the good thing about you saying that is that it's plausible every. So Adam and Justin, I threw it out to social media for a social media smackdown. I asked them, do you have any important anniversaries in your life? And 59% of our listeners said they do, and 41% of our listeners said they don't. So, I mean, you're a married man.
Yep.
So you have an important anniversary. I do too. Adam, I think you do too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you know I'm married. Oh, do I think my anniversary is important? That one, yes. Yeah. That one is.
Despite what my wife says, our anniversary is very important too. So,
Like the anniversary of taking my driving test is not important. Like, my wedding anniversary is.
for sure. Yeah. Lori is a sweet, understanding woman.
Yes, she is.
And very talented.
Yes, very much so. So usually our listeners wonder why I post things, and usually it leads into the next thing that we're going to do, but this time it definitely doesn't. It's total curveball. Just so, I mean, you're kind of aware that you listen to us, and Adam, I think that you've miscalculated at times about when we do this. So we are arriving at our 1 year anniversary doing this podcast.
I was a week early. I thought it was
Yeah.
this week, so I was a week early, but
Yeah.
I got close.
But it's okay. So I got you something,
Cool.
and I'll give it to you whenever it's just
Yeah,
me
you'll
and
give
you.
it to me.
Yeah.
Don't use the word exchange. You'll give it to me. I'll find something.
I'm giving you a heads up.
I got you this pizza. It'll probably keep.
You came here half an hour.
I'll find something.
For fuck's sake. So anyway, in the second half, when we have guests, I like to pit Adam again. What?
Nothing like an assignment to buy you something. Thanks for the assignment.
You don't have to
Ugh,
buy
gosh.
somebody something.
Talk
You know?
about
I mean,
anniversary-
he
talk-
did it because he loved you. Look at this. Look. I can't believe I'm standing up for Matt. Matt.
Hey, that's
Cheers,
what I'm talking
man.
about. Boom.
Look
See,
at that, man.
therapy works.
Talk
Yeah.
about
Therapy.
anniversaries that aren't important. Hey, we did this thing and we didn't give up for a year.
Yeah, we didn't.
Cool. Thanks for the obligation. I'll find you something real nice.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So we usually pit Adam against our guests in the second half of the show, too. And usually the social media smackdown does lead into what the questions are, but this time it definitely doesn't. So it's no mystery. We do like you, but unfortunately, you will have to try to vanquish Adam in what I like to call Adam versus guess.
Okay.
He's what? You're what? 2-1?
2-1 or 1-1. I think we only did.
You
twice.
beat Dennis. You beat
I did beat
Nacho.
Dennis. I'm 2-1 then. Yes,
You're 2-1. So currently he's holding the title. There are going to be 3.
Taylor beat me last time, but
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it was on a technicality.
Technicality.
It was your stupid Price is Right question at the end.
It wasn't a Price is Right question because the Price is Right rules weren't in play. So there are 3 categories: multiple choice, this and that, and the final question. We are in foreign territory, so it's only fair that you get to go first in this line of questioning. And since we are in foreign territory, let's make this showdown all about battling the enemy. Nothing tastes sweeter than killing the enemy.
Yep. Oh, God, your gift is going to suffer after this, I think.
I don't think so. I think I have really good questions here.
I'm sure
So
you do.
multiple choice. The way this works is you have an opportunity to answer this question, and if you get it right, you get the first crack at the bonus question. If you miss either one of these things, Adam gets a chance to steal.
Okay.
Okay? So, Justin.
Here we go.
In Invasion USA, a 1985 Chuck Norris movie where he stars as Matt Hunter, life as a retiree is perfect until a former foe emerges to terrorize southern Florida. What is the name of that foe? Mikhail Rostov, Hans Gruber, Ernest Stravo Blofeld, or some character that Kevin Bacon played?
I'll go with the first one.
That is correct. Mikhail Rostov. So you get first crack at the bonus question. Speaking of Hans Gruber, what was the name of the building that John McClane tried to kill him in?
Nakatomi Plaza.
Didn't have to read the answers.
I'm done for.
It's 2-0.
I actually saw that first movie once, too.
I didn't see the first one.
It's
That was
really so bad.
that was an easy guess.
It's like so bad, it's good.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a Chuck
ridiculous.
Norris like slog fest.
Russia invades Florida. Okay.
Yeah, well, because
I mean, that was the
Well,
premise of
it's
the
comfortable climate.
movie. Yeah. Well,
So,
yeah,
I
they know.
mean, you know.
it's a happy
sick of the
accident
cold.
because they were looking for Chuck Norris, and they're like, we couldn't find him in his house. So guess what?
He's a Texas Ranger. Try
Yeah,
Texas.
that's what I say. Come on, man. Context clues.
Please.
So, Adam, on to you. You're
Sure
down.
thing, Walker.
You're down by 2. The Professional stars Jean Reno as Leon, the maligned assassin who only wants peace and quiet, who unfortunately is forced to square off against Gary Oldman as Norman Stansfield because of his unfortunate sidekick Matilda. What is the name of the actress that played Matilda? Elizabeth Reagan, Ellen Green, Natalie Portman, Sylvia Landra.
With Sylvia Landra.
Incorrect. Chance to steal?
Natalie Portman.
That is
My
correct.
dude.
See, I thought she would be too big to do that.
No, when she was a young child, she played this 12-year-old star. So, first crack at the bonus question then. Natalie Portman was featured on a viral Saturday Night Live clip where she rapped about her life. What college did she claim to smoke weed, cheat on tests, and snort all the yay? Dartmouth, Brown, Juilliard, or Harvard?
Harvard.
That is correct.
I might get swept.
You're getting rocked.
I'm against the ropes.
Yeah. It's also on back to you.
I'm also not worried about it because this beer is delicious.
Yes, it is. That's the only downfall of being the host of Adam versus Guest. I don't get to drink the beer while I'm asking the questions.
It's okay.
So this is actually Adam's wheelhouse, but you get first crack at it.
All right.
Finish this Taylor Swift Bad Blood lyric.
Goodness gracious. Okay.
You say you're sorry just for show. If you live like that, A, well then you'll know. B, your mom's a hoe. C, you live with ghosts. D, you'll disrespect your surroundings.
I guess the first one.
Incorrect.
All right.
Adam, chance to steal. Your last
Sorry,
remaining
no.
answers are your mom's a hoe, you live with ghosts, you'll disrespect your surroundings.
I guess you're living with ghosts.
Correct.
Yes. I know there's other two are from different songs.
I'm so glad for this moment that I don't know the words to that. That's great. Awesome.
I didn't either. I thought you were right.
Oh,
So
well, whatever. Okay.
It's 4-1. Adam, you get a chance
make
here
sense.
at this bonus question. Tay-Tay is known for more than her bad blood with Katy Perry. She's known for her embattled love life as well. Which of these fellas isn't an ex-boyfriend of Taylor Swift? A, Taylor Lautner, B, Joe Jonas, C, Jake Gyllenhaal, or D, Adam Young?
Adam Young?
Correct.
I don't really know who that is, and I thought she was.
a good guess.
It's between that and Taylor Lautner. I thought they had a brief.
They did. So
Happening.
Adam Young is the lead singer of the band that did Fireflies.
Oh, Owl
yeah.
City?
Owl City.
Yeah,
they-
there's a reason I don't know him.
Yeah, but despite
Yeah, but I know Taylor Swift songs. Okay.
Way better.
despite the fact they didn't date, she still wrote a breakup story about him and used it as a song. So no one's safe.
It was called Hitting
Wait, they
the
didn't
Firefly
date.
with a
Wait, they didn't date?
They didn't date,
and she
still-
wrote a breakup song?
Yep.
Wow.
She must really hate fireflies or owls.
I don't like either. I'm not a fan.
Owls creep me out. I'm okay with
Do you
fireflies.
see it? You ever side card? Have you ever seen a naked featherless baby owl before?
Yeah, they're creepy as hell. They look like aliens.
Terrifying.
No, I haven't. That's
Terrifying.
That's a Google search. Though.
It's like ET with bigger eyes.
Yeah. The first time I ever saw one was a viral video where some guy went into his attic,
ET drinks Coors Banquet, so I'm cool with ET, man. So I don't know. You know.
gets hammered, eats Reese's Pieces. So right now it is 4-2. Justin's in a comfortable lead. So we're going into a little bit of this or that. I want to give you a pop culture character, and you have to tell me if they're a hero or a villain. Okay?
Okay.
So I think you went last.
I did.
It is on Justin. Justin went to lead of 4-2.
Oh wait, no. He missed
No.
the Tay-Tay question.
That's right. You stole it.
Okay.
So it's
No,
on
you got like the Adam Young
But
question.
but I went second.
I didn't. I never got
But
that.
that was the bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever.
It's
Okay.
on you. Adam, first question.
It's on you.
Yes.
Yes.
It is on you. Thanks.
Want you on me.
When the camera goes off, you know I can't go viral like that. So, first pop culture character, Taylor Durden.
Oh, now what was he though? I know the movie.
Taylor Durden.
I would say technically he was a villain.
Correct.
Yeah.
He is.
I mean that's kind of tough.
Yeah. These aren't easy, bro.
Yeah. But like his character was like heroic at points. But
Well,
ended
he
up
was an
being-
anti-hero till the end, and you
Right.
found out that he was trying to blow up the city in Fight Club.
Yeah.
No, isn't it Tyler Durden?
Yeah, sorry, Tyler Durden.
Oh, that's
knew
what I
that.
said. Like you said Taylor, and I'm like, what the heck?
He was still thinking of Taylor Lautner.
I
get
was.
outta here.
I can't.
Or
stop.
Taylor Swift. One of
Dude,
them.
oh my gosh, look at that
Lautner.
face.
Lautner.
How did they not get married? They would have been Team
Per-
Tay-Tay.
Yeah, perfect.
Man, I just realized that.
Stars don't think about this stuff.
And he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
I want him to beat that vampire ass. Did he? I don't know how it ended.
I don't know.
I only saw the first one.
I just know he's in the movie and he has a big forehead.
As soon as that vampire glittered, I was out. I was like,
Yeah.
this is not a horror movie.
yeah.
Oh, sure.
Get out of here, J.K. Rowling.
So on to 4-3. You still have a good lead here. Also, too, I should note here. Of course, there are no steals because
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
one or the
it's
other.
one or the
Yeah.
So for you, Nancy Thompson.
This is where you come back, isn't it?
yeah, I know the answer.
Yeah.
Well, I can't steal it, though. And I don't know the
Nancy.
score.
He got villain, so I'm gonna say villain. Actually.
Incorrect. She
All
is
right.
the hero and also a final girl in the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Oh.
No, I'll get one I don't know. Don't worry.
Okay,
I probably
it's all
won't
right.
know this one.
You know what? I like Nightmare on Elm Street. I just don't remember that name.
Nancy.
I don't know. Whatever. It's okay.
Nancy. Adam. And you're right. This is a hard one. This is one of my favorite movies. Anton Chigurh. Anton Chigurh.
I don't really want to say the reasoning behind it. I'm just going to go with the villain.
That is correct. He is the villain with the pressure tank from No Country for Old Men.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that-
I knew it
Javier
sounded familiar.
Bardem. Yeah, man.
I
Okay.
didn't know his name. I didn't remember his name.
Yeah.
4-4. What a comeback.
Yeah, I
I'm
told
really
you. Look at
enjoying
that,
this. Yeah.
man.
Justin. Missy Armitage. Missy Armitage.
Glad it's you, not me.
I know, right? Now
So,
I'm.
because you're blanking out, I will give you
Wait,
something here.
why? I mean,
It's your home.
what? No, I'm comfortable with losing to Bash.
Modern horror cinema.
He's not going to give you much.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Modern horror and cinema.
I think I know the reference, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I guess I'll say hero.
She's a villain.
There we go.
She is the mother in Get Out who can take people into the dark space. Yeah, she hypnotizes
Didn't know her
people.
name. I saw that movie.
I saw it
Good movie.
once though. I don't.
Yeah, I only saw it
didn't-
once, too.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, well.
so happy that you're the one that has to do this one, by the way. James T. Kirk.
Bro,
personally, I find him villainous, but he's the hero.
He is a hero. Yes, you're right.
I hate Star Wars.
I know. 5-4. He's taking over. However,
You didn't take the bait?
if you, yeah. No, I'm not doing it, you dick.
I know it's Battlestar Galactica.
Will you quit messing with these Star Wars references, man? Why do you got to do that? Look at him. Now he's all flustered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully you
It's
get
like
this
there's a
one.
Chewbacca in his underpants.
Buffy Summers.
Hero?
Correct.
Yeah.
Hero from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, I know you watched that.
They got
movie.
easy all of a sudden.
The movie, but not the show. I never got into the show.
Okay,
So.
sure.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Believable.
Yeah, okay. No,
Believable. So we are
James
on.
Vanderbeek in that?
Yeah, no, yeah. Katie Holmes was in that too, right?
Yeah. She's a babe.
Hey, did you know it's Katie Holmes' birthday?
Justin knows the references.
This is wonderful. It's nice having someone I respect as a brewer and also a fan of this podcast.
I don't know why you're laughing. It's her birthday, dude. It's pretty messed up. I don't laugh on your birthday, do I?
So we are on to the final question. Okay. So it's tied. Is it tied 5-5? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
5-5.
Wow.
And he gets the last one, right? The last crack. Let's
Well, actually,
go, baby.
this is both of you guys get a crack at this.
Oh, say what?
So the way this works here is that it's closest to a grand total. You know it has to go this way. Steve from Hop Nation taught me well. You have to make the last question.
Yeah, I think you should come up with something original and not do this part anymore.
No, I like this part. And it's not Price is Right rules. It's closest to. Okay. So the master of destroying the enemy, Jean-Claude Van Damme, starred in some significant action movies that are staples of action cinema history. Some of the movies suck pretty bad. So we're going to combine two of them in their total gross box offices and see which one of you two gets the closest. Movie number 1, Bloodsport. It's a rated R action-packed martial arts film that debuted in 1988 with Van Damme traveling to an underground tournament where the victors taste riches and the losers taste death. Demak.
Well, that's the good one.
Street Fighter. Hit theaters in 1994 with Van Damme taking up the guard of Guile as he faced off against M. Bison in hopes of foiling a dastardly plan to kill millions. So, you have to figure out the total gross box office combined total for both of these films. And I will say one outperformed the other.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I could definitely imagine.
Yes. So, I'll give you guys a moment to think about it while I talk more about this beer. I didn't get to drink this beer while I was
Meanwhile, I'm like, I finished mine almost.
So it's I get to, you know.
Crime in Street Fighter was they didn't put E Honda in it at all.
Do you think that was the
I
crime?
don't think Blanca was in it either.
He was.
Oh, yeah, Blanca was in it briefly,
Yeah.
right?
He was.
Yeah, it was.
Dalsim wasn't in it.
No,
No.
yeah, he was.
Dalsim?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he just didn't do his.
He didn't do anything
thing,
cool.
you know
Oh,
what I
then
mean?
who
Like,
cares who did that?
Nobody
Yeah,
did anything cool in that movie. Nobody did their shit. Yeah. Did you guys have your answers?
you ready?
I don't even know what's a lot in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, but you go ahead and throw a number out.
Okay, first.
Go ahead, throw a number out.
Please. And this is winner takes all. It doesn't matter what the points are. Whoever gets this right is the winner.
266 million.
266.
Oh, I'm gonna scale down. I'm gonna go like 21.6 million.
Oh, boy.
Adam's actually closer.
There we go.
Thanks for going that far in that direction.
I went that far down because
I don't know what's a lot. And I don't actually out of those two, I don't know what would have done. Well, I know what would have maybe done better opening weekend, but overall it should be Bloodsport.
that's Street
So which
Fighter
one do you
definitely had to have been a bigger open because it had the video game.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So Street Fighter came in at 99.4 million, while
Oh, dude, I didn't know that's.
Yeah, Bloodsport came in at 50 million. So the grand total is 149.4 million dollars. So unfortunately,
dude.
you're going so low.
It's okay. Hey, I had to go low, dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do $1, right? So you
Hey,
know,
listen, you did what was right in your
Had
heart,
to.
and I appreciate that.
it's okay. I'm all right with it. I'm glad with that because, dude, Street Fighter sucked, and
It was
I
terrible.
knew it was like that was of the two that was the one. That
Pretty
made it.
sure I went and saw it in theaters, though.
I did too. I did too.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I saw that and Mortal Kombat in theaters.
Mortal Kombat.
I saw Mortal Kombat 2 in theaters, and I was so much better than the first one. I had so much more fun watching.
Was it Mortal Kombat 2 or was that the one they called Annihilation?
Annihilation.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
way better.
Yeah.
It was way cooler.
So much cooler. Yeah. So
I saw them both in theaters because I didn't learn my lesson from the first one.
Goro got all those arms, dude.
Yeah.
It's real easy to clean up after.
Yeah.
Just leave that.
falling off the rails, man.
Sorry.
He'd be fisted. What, like pound and fit? Like fisted?
Yeah, that's not what it's called.
Goro could just like fist himself all day. He had all the hands.
All those arms.
Yeah.
There could be a 3-way fisting, a 4-way fisting.
Technically 6.
You imagine
Yeah.
all the bros he could fist.
Yeah, he's just fisting all the. He could fist several bros at the same time.
He didn't have a lot of bros though. He was such a mean guy.
He was, but his cock was hard as shit because it broke Johnny Cage's hand.
Hey, guess who's gonna get the emails and whatever and messages? Guess who?
It's my turn.
Yeah.
We take turns here. So, Adam, you take home the victory here. You are now ascending to 3-1. However,
Nice.
we are going into
Coming for you, GSP.
Yes. I like to go into something here, though, because I have 2 very skilled brewers in front of me, and as someone who wants to learn more, too, about brewing, this is my opportunity to bring some questions that people have posed to me. I get to ask you guys. I get to learn with them. So this is our Brewer's Advice Corner. So once adversaries now must put their heads together to give some of the most intriguing advice asked by general public of people who have no fucking clue what they're asking.
Yep.
So, number 1, how quickly after I start home brewing should I start to enter competitions?
I'll go with it depends. It depends on how willing you are and how accepting you are of feedback. Especially if it's a judged competition, the feedback's actually worth something to take home. And it could be if it's a crowd event too. Like some people that attend homebrew festivals do know what they're talking about, or you can give it to your other home. The real benefit is having the other homebrewers try it. They might have more experience, and they'll give you some good positive feedback. You'll get some good positive feedback from the judges, and then you'll get some just general feedback from the public. Some of it good, some of it don't take to heart. But just how good you are with that. And if you're happy just doing your basement and giving it to your friends and they all love it, that's cool too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. For competition, though, like, it depends, like Adam said, but I think that it depends on the person, you know. If you're going to go into something like that, I wouldn't say you need to have confidence, but you can't just go in there going, you know, oh, this is going to suck, and blah, blah. Like, just don't, you know, people are there to have a good time. You know, it depends on, you know, each competition. But if you're looking for feedback, you know, I would say, like he said, like the judging ones, like the BJCP ones, or even homebrew club events, you know, like if there's any club meetings, go to those. There's some pretty good guys at some of them, you know, that will be honest with you and nice. You know, they won't just, you know, upbraid you for anything that you did wrong or something like that. But as far as competitions, though, that's you gotta have something. You know, you gotta. I don't want to say not arrogance, but you do have to have some confidence.
Something you believe in. A recipe that you
know. I mean,
are passionate about.
Yeah,
helps.
Something that you're not afraid, like that you know that you like, that is good, might not be great, but you're willing to, you know, hear somebody, you know, say something negative or whatever, but you're going to get a couple other people going, oh, that's pretty good. That's, you know, whatever. And, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been to a beer fest and, like, 3 people will, like, you know, love whatever. And then, like, that 4th person's like, they make a face. And you're like, oh, okay, you need to be ready for all that kind of stuff, you know. You got to be ready to watch them go over somewhere and just go dump, you know, and then you're like, oh, no, you know, I mean, you get over it. I mean, it sucks, but you get over it real quick, and you're like, all right, whatever, you know.
One of the best competition moments ever was me and Justin both brewed for the Homebrew and Show event out here in Greensburg, and I'm all set up, and he backs his car down and gets out. I'm like, he's like, hey Adam, how's it going? And I was like, damn it. And he's like, what's wrong? I was like, guess I'll be okay with 2nd place. Yeah. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, to let somebody else win once in a while. And he thought I was legitimately mad at him for like the first hour of the event.
Oh, no.
Actually, wait, was that Homebrew and Chill, or was that Oakmont Yacht Club Homebrew Fest?
No, it was Homebrew and Chill because I remember you just got out of your car and I said that and you were like, oh.
There's too many people that don't know, like me and Adam, our relationship,
We bumped into each other a lot.
Strictly with
No,
platonic,
you won.
but I mean,
You won at the yacht club, which led
Yeah.
to Homebrew and Show.
Yeah.
But that was the okay. So, but I pull up to the Oakmont Yacht Club competition, and I'm like unloading, and he's like, "Oh, Justin's here. We can all pack up. He's gonna win."
I did say that at Oakmont. Yes.
And I was like, "Man, this motherfucker over here, he really, And then I won, and it was like, "Oh, come on." You know what I mean? Like, you got to be kidding me.
I was
I
standing
looked
next
at
to
you
you.
too, and I was like, "You son of a."
We're standing next to you with my second place basket.
That's all right.
As you won.
Hey, man, placing is hard, dude. So
That basket was worth a lot, though.
It was.
Yeah.
It
It
was a lot
was.
of fun.
It was a good
actually,
basket.
you got something out of that because COVID happened next year, and I didn't get that top prize.
That's right.
So you actually
That's
did get
right.
something over. So look at that.
So we're keeping on home brewing. If you want to make a higher ABV brew on a home kit, what is the best way to go about that?
I mean, make sure you're good at the lower ABV stuff first, because it gets exponentially more expensive because you're buying more grain.
Yeah.
And if it goes bad, that's wasted money. So just know what you're doing,
Yeah,
and make sure your mash tun's big enough to handle it.
Well, not only that, but I would say make sure that if you're going to do that, right, make sure you have plenty of healthy yeast.
This is the real answer. This is the part.
This is why I brought him on.
Yeah.
Make sure you have plenty of healthy yeast. Do some research. If it's it all depends on each style, right? So if you're doing like a Belgian, you can get away with adding more like simple sugar, like table sugar and stuff like that. Whereas if you go to do that for something else, it might not work. I mean, it'll still give you the higher ABV, but it'll come off wrong. You know what I mean?
It might come off hot or thin.
And I would also consider maybe lowering the volume of what you're going to end up getting. So instead of doing just 5 gallons and I got my 5 gallons, scale back, go 4. I've done a barley wine, and I did it. I used the same ingredients that I would use for essentially like a 10 gallon batch, and I scaled it. I formulated it to be 4.5. So I still did all this stuff that I was going to do for that, and I got a higher gravity. And then you make sure you have enough healthy yeast. You go about it that way, and that barley wine came out fantastic. That was a home brew that Mr. Bash over here got a chance to try at the Marinos.
That was at Marinos,
yeah, dude, it's pretty good, right?
good.
So, but yeah, those are the things that I would look at. Style, and just maybe being comfortable with backing off that big volume.
Yeah.
So
Okay, cool. Last but not least here, because you guys have both scaled up at times. So
One of us more than others.
but still, this
you scaled up, dude.
By a couple. One of us by a couple barrels. One of us by a couple gallons.
it's still applicable.
Yeah.
So how hard is it to calculate ingredients going from your smaller system to now your larger system?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, so when you get to like where I'm at now, I mean it's not always just a multiply by this and that's exactly it, because sometimes you have to count for things that essentially you don't know will happen or not. So let's say you're pushing the limits on a certain style, but that's if you come in range for all of the metrics for that style. Let's say that you're on the back end of it and you have a lower, you're supposed to have a higher gravity and you're not. Let's say you don't have, it's not going to have as much alcohol if you add too many hops, right? Mm-hmm. It could come off way too bitter depending on the style. It could come off, way too anything like that. So it's like it depends on all of that. It's not always just a straight up, let me just multiply it by, I used to do 5 gallons and I'm going to do 15. I'm going to triple it now. It's not always that same thing. It depends on everything. So
Cool. Adam?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. It's even at a smaller, just scaling, like I went from 5 to brew like roughly 11, but say 10. It's not, like Justin said, it's not, even at that level, you're not doubling everything. Yeah. You're going to it's not going to work out right. Your malt is a little closer to that kind of calculation, but your hops are, I learned it the hard way. Hops don't work that way.
No.
And if you look online in some of the forums for homebrewers, they'll give you the formulas for it, the equation for most of it. It all depends on the alpha acids of the hops and everything like that. Or if you're willing to spend a little bit of money, Brewfather and Beersmith are both, mobile applications and software for laptops. that are phenomenal. And if you can take your 5-gallon recipe and scale it to 10, and it'll auto adjust your ingredients to meet the same gravity, same IBUs, same color.
And especially
so that's my cheater.
Yeah.
And that's
what I like about Beersmith though is that you can see as you're inputting things, like it'll show you where you're getting to, right? Or where you're at.
And same with the Brewfather one too.
Yeah, and what's nice about that though is if you're aiming for doing certain styles and you get in the middle for all of those categories, original gravity, bitterness, color, all that. If you get into the middle, you're in a safer spot where, let's say you get a better yield from, your mash, right? You could still be in that range. You're just on the higher end of that range. Right. Whereas if you formulated it to be on the higher side and you still got a higher yield, you're out of that range now. And so it's like, that's where we use it. We use Beersmith. I used it at Fury. We use it here. It's definitely a great tool. I use Brew and Water as well for water chemistry. Same sort of thing. It's like I'm targeting, specific, things, and it's like trying to hit these metrics, you know what I mean? And you always you want to aim for the middle.
Yeah, so. and at least for your grist, it's more a matter of keeping the percentages steady. It's not just multiplying pounds or ounces. It's, hey, my base malt was 70% at 5 gallons. It should probably stay roughly around 70% at 10. And I mean, you can speak to it at barrels. Barrels. It should usually be about that percentage. That's giving you your color. That's giving you your gravity. That's giving you the flavor. So yeah, I mean, and both of those software packages are super inexpensive, even at a homebrew level. I have both of them.
Yeah, it's like a one-time purchase too, right? You're not subscribing to.
Right? One of them is a subscription. Beersmith is a one-time purchase. Okay. Yep. Brewfather is a subscription, both very low, and it's like an annual subscription for like $20.
Oh wow, yeah, that's very affordable
for the whole year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, try them both out. And the Brewfather one works really well if you have like a Grainfather. Like the Grainfather systems are all pre-built in there, but you can build your own.
And if you have, if you end up getting something like, I mean, I can't speak to the Grainfather one, but if you get something like Beersmith, goes back to that second question you just had, you can actually change the values in there. So instead of doing a 5-gallon batch, so you were saying like, how do you get a higher ABV in, these batches? You can actually go in and change it so that, it's a 4-gallon batch, right? And keep the same amount of material that you were going to use, and you can see where that would actually put you. So if you're trying to do something like a Russian Imperial, like let's say you wanted to make like a smoked Russian Imperial Stout, right?
Yeah, if you want to take a roll of the dice.
Hypothetical, right? And you were like, well, I only have, X amount of grain and all this stuff. How can I get to this range? You can put in that grain and then backtrack it to the point where you see it. It's like, oh, I can, make a 6-gallon instead of a 10. You know what I mean? So... Yeah.
You listening?
Yeah, we're just gonna be a little girl by a big mash tun. So have a 22-gallon mash tun for your 10-gallon system.
I tell you what, though, man, that thing makes it so much easier to clean.
Love that thing.
I love it so much. So thank you guys for that, and I'm sure the people who ask those questions are going to be just elated to get those kind of responses.
Absolutely, keep them coming too.
Absolutely. So we are moving towards the end of our time here. So this is where we move into where we ask what's on tap and where can you find us. So actually, if we want to go with Justin, what's on tap here at Yellow Bridge, and how can people find you?
Yeah, I mean, we try to post a lot on Facebook and stuff like that. You can go to, I believe, Facebook or Untapped and see what we have on. We've got 11 taps at the moment. 12 come Saturday, full of our beer. We've got everything from, like I said, the first beer that we had, the cream ale, to 2 different variations of an imperial stout. We got 3 different sours on. We typically have a lot more IPAs on, and right now we're a little bit on the lower side, but in the next 2 to 3 weeks we're going to have more IPAs coming back on. We've got brown ale, we've porter, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, we try to cover a whole range, and just to try to satisfy customers. And then even if people aren't necessarily into beer, we do carry Bellaterra wine. We carry Tatty Bogle cider.
Nice.
We have, I think like one of them. I want to say it's Bellaterra makes like cocktails and cans or something like mules or whatever.
Yeah.
We have those two. We've got regular drinks. So if you've got kids and you're looking for just soda or whatever, it's like we have all that kind of stuff. We have pizza.
Yeah.
So we don't have it on tap. That'd be weird. But we have.
If you had pizza on tap, you would get Elon Musk here. Like, how did you do it?
Actually, that's the next thing. Besides the whole brain implant thing,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's the pizza on tap. But so that's another thing too. We recently started making pizzas within the past 5-6 months, and and that's something that Ian, the owner, he does. He started this up from homebrewing, and he was good at it, and now we're 5 years in, and he started learning how to make pizza, and the pizza is phenomenal. Yeah. So come out, have some what I like to think is pretty good beer and really good pizza, and enjoy yourself. So
Right up Route 66 in the heart of Delmont.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's not a far drive. It's it depends on where you're at. It's there's plenty of ways to get here.
And it's worth it.
And it's worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Adam, what's on tap?
So I won't waste everybody's time with everything, but just hitting on the new stuff. We have a hazy IPA that'll be ready for Sunday when you're hearing this. We still have some of this Mid Russian Imperial left. I might have to bottle some more, but we have plenty left. We're about halfway through the supply. And we're brewing up a red ale this weekend for St. Paddy's Day. So an Irish red ale is coming on at a low 4.5%.
I can't.
Picking up the order today was unbelievable.
It was unbelievably light.
Yeah, the whole grain bill is only 22 pounds, which I think has been our base malt in the last couple.
Yeah.
So it should be. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Only 4%. Are you going to be all right?
4.5.
4.5. Okay.
And that's at low efficiency. It might only be 5. But
I know, right? Like
shooting for the middle, like you said.
That's right. Shoot for the middle, man.
So also too, make sure you are looking for tickets for the best brunch ever.
Session 1 sold out.
Session 1
so
is
get your
sold
Session
out.
2 tickets.
That's on May 14th, and then we're also going to be at Brews and Bruises on June
4th, I believe.
4th. Yeah, June 4th at the Ross Draver Ice Center. Ice Garden.
Yep.
So and tickets are still available for that as well. So we will be there. We'll be slinging. Maybe there'll be some Decaying with the Boys merch as well. I'm gonna see if I can sneak it in if no one tackles me at the gate. And if you know what's going on with Adam down at the Brew Lab, do follow him at Bash_Brew on all social media. It's Facebook and Instagram. He's also on Untapped. If you know what's going on with Yellow Bridge, search him out on all social media. It's Yellow Bridge Brewing. That's Facebook, Instagram, and I think I've tagged you once on Twitter. You're also all over on Untapped. And of course, the boys down in the Jojatorium, you want to follow us. We're at DWTB on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can all send us all your questions, emails, comments, and whatevs to decayingwtb@gmail.com. We have new merch out on redbubble.com. You can search us out, DWTB. And right now, all of our merch is 35% off. So if you want to grab a shirt, this is the time. So, again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Justin, again, thanks for inviting us over. We really like you and the brewery and the beers you gave us, so we're very thankful for that. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you guys, man.
And we hope to do this again, hopefully in May or June. Winky face emoji. Yeah. So from our time here at Yellow Bridge until wherever you guys are listening to this, make sure you come grab some of this beer. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Happy birthday, Katie.
I drank all my yogurt.